so we can get started. All right, so hello everyone, I'm Dr. Carl from AI Web3, and I'm also the ambassador, active contributor in Centrifuge. So today I'm so glad to meet with Martin from Centrifuge, right?
Thank you, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so Martin, could you please introduce yourself a little bit and maybe a little bit about Centrifuge if you want?
Yeah, absolutely, and thanks again. So yeah, I'm Martin Quensel, co-founder of Centrifuge, and we started Centrifuge in late 2017, early 2018 out of Berlin. Now it's a real international project. People are distributed all over the world, like you know. And what we wanted to build in the beginning was really a protocol actually to let real-world assets travel on the blockchain in the form of NFTs. But then we actually kind of developed it further into something which is now an asset management on-chain protocol. So really, think of it a protocol which is able to run a fund, where you, from asset origination to really kind of tokenizing the assets as a pool, distributing to investors, they can all do that on-chain. It's really not just focusing on tokenization, it's going far beyond tokenization. It's really also including asset origination, asset management, fund management, investor management, and of course, tokenization.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, so glad to hear about that. So what brings you here to Polkadot Decoded Asia conference?
Yeah, I think being built on Polkadot right from the beginning, one of the early projects. I think we won also one of the first auctions, and I think we really need to revamp the project as it is. I think it's one of the best technologies, if not the best technology. I am strongest really believing, and that technology advantage. I think we didn't do the best job in kind of attracting this technology advantage, the right projects, and create momentum. And I think that's where we need to get better, really presenting real-world use cases for the Polkadot as an ecosystem and grow it. And also I think the idea of building an ecosystem of different application chains where they together building use cases, because every chain can communicate to the other. This kind of competitive advantage is something we need to talk about and present use cases. That's why I'm also on a panel here today with Moonbeam and a few more, actually to kind of actually say, hey, the real value of Polkadot is of course the technology, but really that you have those applications running on their own blockchain, not interfering with the performance and the bandwidth of the others, but still being able to operate and build cross-functional, cross-blockchain use cases.
Wow, that's amazing. So glad to hear about that. And I heard Centrifuge recently they also have collaborated with Coinbase with kind of a...
Yeah, we did a fundraise, which is almost, I can barely remember anymore. But there we also Parafy joining, Coinbase joining, was good enough for the time being. We did a little earlier than most likely their DeFi, their back. So like at the edge of the crypto spring, and we're doing well. And I think the recent news are that we really step more and more into the institutional direction, where we actually being more and more the infrastructure for institutions to run their fund management on-chain. And the latest was just the announcement of the partnership with Janus Henderson, if you heard of it. Janus Henderson is an UK-based asset manager who I think top 20, so it's really 380 billion of AUM, and with a strong focus on a lot of products we would like to bring on-chain. So a leader in ETF and other ETPs, exchange-traded funds, exchange products. And we are believing that actually one of these things we most likely can eat first if it comes to traditional finance as blockchain is ETFs. ETFs, kind of exchange-traded funds, had, I think, their moment when I think people have realized how efficient you can operate that and how efficient you can actually manage assets through an ETF, because you can kind of have another abstraction layer, which is instant liquidity and market pricing, and bringing that on the blockchain and actually skip the requirement for an ETF in the middle. You have the assets here, you have the investor there, and blockchain is directly kind of connecting it with kind of pooling, building actually the structures to make it instant liquid and create market pricing for it. That would be a game changer. It's most likely what ETF did for traditional finance and mutual funds something like 20 years ago or the last 20 years. I think blockchain can do many more, of course.
Right.
But I think one of the first use cases how we can disrupt traditional finance is most likely the ETF industry.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, what do you think would be the next the next big adoption? What kind of a project or
I do not know broadly because there are so many use cases. What we're focusing on.
Do you think
at Centrifuge?
Yeah,
I know. What we're focusing on Centrifuge is really bringing institutions on chain. So really creating the demand of traditional asset managers and traditional investors on chain, which is completely missing right now. But that would be the momentum we need to kind of get beyond actually the market cap crypto has today. So that is crypto assets and everything around crypto assets, and really real assets so far is a use case where we tokenize treasury bills, things like that, but the capital is already on chain. It's TVL, which is just traveling from crypto asset investments into real asset investment. What we need to do to grow the pie is really get new investors on chain, where they basically turn fiat into stable coins, and these stable coins not just invest into crypto, but also in the traditional assets we have in the traditional finance industry. And then you actually say, hey, today crypto bubble, and if that should grow, we actually need to leave the bubble and put real world use cases with real world people as investors, with real world people as asset originators and asset managers on chain. That's our mission. That's what we are focusing on.
Okay, great. I'm going to ask a few short questions you probably can quickly answer. So just in case you have time, right? Okay.
No, maybe two more questions.
Just some short one. I think it can be a few. What do you think the country or city can be the center of can be the Web3's next center?
I think that's a wrong assumption. We will not see this one city. It's not like the times of Silicon Valley and everything is happening there. I'm believing it's over, and that's one thing.
Right.
On the other hand, also you see that already. There's so many different things going on in Asia, in the Americas, in Europe, even in Africa, and I think that's how decentralization works. Because also the teams are international. It's not focusing anymore. Ethereum was born in Berlin, but Berlin is one of the spots in Europe. It's not even the biggest in Europe, and then what's happening here in Singapore, in China, in Hong Kong, it's just amazing. Also Middle East, for example, if you look at the last token 2049, it's just amazing. So I don't believe that will be the winner. There will be a lot of winners. Also, it's working for the people. There are a lot of the developers even being in countries where they had issues in the past. Look at Vietnam, I think Turkey, Argentina. Surprisingly, countries with one of the highest crypto adoption in the world.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that. And so, if you have the opportunity to have a cup of coffee here at Polkadot Decoded with some big guy in Web3, who would be the guy?
Gavin.
Gavin.
Gavin, of course. But anyway,
that's awesome.
We ran into each other already. So honestly, I do not know. I would most likely love is actually to have a discussion where regulators, bigger financial institutions like Larry Fink, for example, or someone like him, would actually join us on the crypto side and have an open conversation of actually how we can do better all together.
Okay, that's good. What would be the most exciting things you have for this year? It can be with Centrifuge or it can be Polkadot, whatever.
I know, really from the Animoy Centrifuge perspective, I think if we get our TVL to 1 billion, that is our target. That would be the most exciting moment. I think the moment I'm looking forward to is actually a real adoption of stablecoins. And that I think we are on the edge already, almost there. That everyone who has a bank account has no issue with turning it into stablecoins and use them on the blockchain. Number one, but number two, also who is actually unbanked today has an ability to use blockchain technology, wallet, to kind of have banking services on chain, and that those banking services are really being able to replace what they need in the real world. Paying with crypto at a shop, for example. And that sounds so strange, but with I think Gnosis Pay, for example, and Visa Card, the other recent example is MasterCard, are first examples actually showcasing that with crypto can also kind of being would be able to access traditional banking services without the need of a bank account.
Right. Awesome. Yeah. So next question, like, did you have anything like you want to share about like the experience of the conference or about Centrifuge, like any exciting thing you want to share?
I'd like to learn more about the plans of big financial institutions when they go on chain, especially if it's open and permissionless. And second, on a technology level, I would really learn more about actually smart wallets, account abstraction, and those things. I think that is really required for the next wave of adoption. There are people being less crypto, from Netscape Mosaic browsers to the first, as bad as it was, Internet Explorer. So something there, the people just have a computer, start the computer, and there is access, And that was what Internet was, the game changer for Internet, that the people didn't really need to think about how do I install it, how do I use it. And the next thing was basically for Web 1, the enabler was the internet search. You didn't know every URL in the early days. You really had to know the URLs and to type them in. This internet relay chat and whatsoever, it's all kind of, where the people had the experience they're having today. And I think that is also still required for crypto to make it usable, accessible.
Wow,
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.